This is Samir Sathe. I lead the Wadhwani Advantage program at the foundation. Let me explain to you what this foundation is all about. Wadhwani mission is really to accelerate the economic development in emerging economies to large-scale job creation. We are focused on ensuring that we create livelihoods, we create jobs, and we create high-value jobs that you and I will aspire for. Our mission is to create jobs, change lives, and scale impact. We have 5 key initiatives. We have presence in 20 countries across the 3 continents of Asia, Africa, and Latin America. What is Wadhwani Advantage? The Advantage program, which I lead, is really focused on empowering businesses with capabilities to maximize their growth potential. What does it mean? As you know, small and medium-sized enterprises are really the bloodstream of most of the economies in the world, not only emerging economies, but also the developed economies. They are large contributors to the GDP. They are large contributors to employment. Across the globe, small, medium-sized enterprises contribute anywhere between 1/5 to even 3/5 of the GDP of that particular country. They contribute anywhere between about 20% to even 70% of the employment that is generated in any country. And that's a massive number. In India, as you're aware, small, medium-sized enterprises really are the backbone. They contribute to 1/3 of the GDP. They contribute to about 110 million jobs. We have a population anywhere between 65 to 75 million in our country, which we call MSMEs, micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. And based on the estimates available, we believe that the true potential of the small businesses is really to contribute to the GDP to the extent of 40 to 45% and really create employment, additional employment of over 60 to 90 million jobs in next 3 to 5 years. That's a staggering number. And which is why we are very focused on ensuring that the small business capabilities really are critical to the country. And we want to ensure that the entrepreneurs are empowered with the capabilities to maximize that growth potential. When we think about Indian small businesses, as you know, we have a long tail of small businesses at the bottom, which are suboptimal in nature, which are inefficient in nature, which are very small in nature, and which tend to be languishing there for years, for decades, as a result of which they are not able to attain a minimum mass scale, because of which they are not able to have the sufficient ability to exert the economic power with respect to their other stakeholders. And that really impacts their productivity, that really impacts their ability to grow, and which essentially means that Indian ecosystem is really carrying on one hand a massive potential, but on the other hand, it's also carrying a lot of disadvantaged small businesses which are not able to realize their true potential because of their scale, because of their lack of productivity, because of lack of their management capability, because the way that they are professionalizing themselves, as a result of which the transactions that happen, the trade that happens is very polarized in India. On one hand, you have lots of transactions taking place. About 80% of the trade that happens between the small businesses happen between themselves, not with the large corporates or medium-sized enterprises. The trade that happens across the borders is also very skewed in its pattern across the different industries. Now that really impacts significantly their ability to grow. Now this means that the Indian ecosystem is really carrying a lot of the sick companies, a lot of the impaired companies for decades and centuries, as a result of which we as a country are not able to realize our own true super potential. That's precisely what Advantage program seeks to change. We want to empower these businesses with capabilities to maximize their growth potential, which means accelerating their revenue by 2x to 10x, ensuring that we give them help, but at the same time, they are able to implement that help. And they will be able to do that. They will be able to do that on their own only if we are able to really build insights and automate that entire logic. When we think about discovering a particular business, finding their problems, looking at what problems need to be prioritized to be solved, and then looking at all the transformation tools which are there to be able to transform their businesses. Do it yourself is extremely important word. What that means is that we are not necessarily coming to you and ensuring that you solve your problems with a mandate. We will of course do that. We'll provide you with the knowledge, we'll provide you with the curated sort of set of consultants, advisors, mentors. But beyond that, our whole idea is to certify you that you will be able to solve your problems on your own. So in true sense, we want to make sure that you are independent and you are not really at the mercy of the intellectual, in some ways, very exorbitant and pricey consulting community out there. So we as philanthropy have a mission to ensure that we empower you with those capabilities so that you're over a period of time, you're able to be solving your problems on your own, using our knowledge, using our curated network. So do it yourself is extremely critical. In addition to that, we are going to give you a significant hand-holding support for the first set of discoveries and transformations that we help you with. This does two things. The first is really that you as an entrepreneur, your direct reports and functional heads not only learn about how to sort of govern your business health and solve your problems based on a set of certain key performance indicators, but it also trains your people to be able to understand the science and art behind it. What that means is that over a period of time, you will be able to institutionalize the governance of your own companies, your own functions, your performance in a smooth manner. We want to ensure that we institutionalize the internal execution committee with your direct reports, your functional reports in such a manner that they become the change agents of transformation. We are creating change agents so that in turn, they themselves will be able to influence a large base of the employees that you have, and therefore you have the ability to really make a massive change. So that's very critical. So the hand-holding support that we give is of that kind. We have a very strong program management office support to be able to do that. We have about a year-long engagement and up to 3 years of hand-holding support that we extend, which is very critical for, especially for small businesses, because it's just not the question of really what the problem is. It's the question of how to solve that problem. It's the question of whom do you want to partner with to be able to solve that problem? Are we the type of people who will be there with you in the periods of crisis as well as in periods of upturn? Are we the kind of people who will ensure that we handhold you in different steps? And I think that's something that we are really focused on. We want to stay humble, we want to stay grounded, we want to ensure that we understand, empathize with your problems, and then are able to solve this significantly better than the rest out there. We all also going to use technology to your advantage. When we think about artificial intelligence, when we think about making decisions based on data, which is one of the most important capabilities that all small businesses need to possess, we want to leverage our artificial intelligence significantly. And that is very important for us. What we want to do is that we want to use technology, which is called a Genie platform, which is both web as well as mobile platform, which basically allows you to have access to the knowledge, access to the consultants curated, and you are able to visualize and see what's happening to your health on a regular basis, because of which you will be able to make sound decisions on a daily life. So that the entire SME journey is something that you can see, feel, make decisions about, and really make rapid progress in terms of how we want to manage your own company's own business growth and capability development agenda. So that's really the essence of what we really offer. And most importantly, you will be happy to know, is that this is all given completely pro bono by Wadhwani Foundation. We do not charge. We are not interested in monetizing and over-welcoming our stake, which is a very important point, as you all know. We all have come from the backgrounds of having done significant consulting for small businesses, but we do recognize that some of you, or all of you, do not have the deep pockets as the large companies and the multinational firms do. Having understood that, what we have tried to do is to ensure that you give the best quality, that you get the best quality, but in return, we don't want to expect any revenue. What we only expect is only 3 things. The first, your hunger to grow. Second, your commitment that you will spend time with us to be able to learn how to grow. And the third thing, you will be willing to share your data, which will be protected by us under our intellectual property rights. And that data will allow us to throw insights at you and will make you learn about how to ensure that you really use business decisions, making good use of the data sets that you already have. So if you possess these 3 things, you're the kind of companies that we want to help you with. Last but not the least, one of the important things that we want to focus on is to really focus on businesses which are between rupees 20 crores and above in terms of the revenue, in terms of the manufacturing space. And this particular focus is mainly because we believe very strongly that if the businesses which are between the revenue of 20 crores and above, let's say 250, 300, 400 crores, if these businesses are really made robust and they're really, the capabilities are significantly developed, it will have significant impact on the ecosystem, which consists of lots and lots of smaller enterprises with smaller revenue buckets, and in many industries, even the micro enterprises. And therefore, we want to ensure that today, if we have a population of 63 million micro entrepreneurs, we would rather have a large percentage of that really shift to a larger scale companies, what we call small enterprises, and smaller enterprises turn into mid-sized enterprises. It's only then India will have the opportunity to become a very large economic global superpower. And the $5 trillion dream that our Prime Minister has set for ourselves is something which is not a pipe dream, but something that we can convert into reality. And that's what we want to achieve. We want to empower you. We want to ensure that your economic progress really is significant. And the idea is very simple. When there is economic progress, there is a possibility, significant possibility, that you will be able to create employment for hundreds and thousands of people, which we call as high-value jobs that are aspirational for the folks in India, the jobs which everybody aims for, the jobs that will be able to feed the family of four. So the link between the economic progress and the social progress is very, very significant. And we want to make sure that that link stays over there. Interestingly, in the past few years, there has been economic progress until the COVID hit us, but there was no progress in employment. So basically, India witnessed jobless growth. And the correlation between the economic progress and the jobs has actually weakened over a period of time. Our endeavor is to make sure that there is not only economic progress with the enterprises that we consult with, that we have interventions with, but there is a significant growth in terms of their employment as well. And that's what this Wadhwani Advantage program is all about. So what do we do in reality on the ground? Your journey essentially starts with what we call automated business discovery tool. It ends with the transformation tool and implementation of that tool. Now, these tools are made based on hundreds of years of human experience that we have got with a bunch of advisors, mentors, consultants that we have in our system, both as our staff as well as our extended army of lots of curated consultants and advisors that we have. We have put in our hard work, experience, decades of experience and expertise in terms of different industries and functions to be able to create these tools which really attempt at automating the entire logic behind building insights, interpreting them, and really giving you a set of transformation projects which will result into improving the key performance indicators which are currently perhaps impaired. And that's something that we want to deliver through this entire journey that you can see right from discovery to transformation. So it starts with what we call KPI analysis, which is nothing but the key performance indicator analysis. We'll look at all the important indicators which basically talk about the health of your business. We look at what is impaired, what is not impaired, what is not altered, based on a set of benchmarks that are prevalent in your industry, based on the trends, both the past as well as predicted trends in future. We'll create what we call Wadhwani Index, which is basically our proprietary system to be able to figure out where are you in your journey in terms of the Wadhwani Index. And we'll deliver to you the discovery report, which will basically consist of the health check of your organization. It will consist of the transformation plan, which will give you a set of initiatives or the action items that you need to focus on transformation projects. And it will also tell you what is the potential that it carries to improve your both top line as well as bottom line. Then we go to what we call transformation. Transformation is really the heart of what you do in terms of transforming your businesses. Once you have discovered what needs to be fixed or what needs to be significantly improved, we will administer a set of basic solution tools or advanced solution tools, either in sequence or in parallel, which will basically seek to deep dive into the impaired KPIs, improving the advantage, your competitive advantage by implementation of these basic tools and the transformation plans. And we'll deliver to you then how these implementations need to be governed in a program management office environment. We will set up, institutionalize the strategic and execution teams, as I was referring to earlier in my conversation, and we will train you how to analyze a problem, how to solve a problem, how to implement a problem. And that's something that will happen as an educative element to all of you all the time. And that's something that you can expect in terms of helping you with setting up the right things, setting up the processes, setting up the systems to be able to make you understand how to govern the health of your business on a regular basis. Once we administer the basic solution tools and advanced solution tools, which are more long-term in nature, which not only look at your short-term problems, but also look at your long-term business modeling and what you need to take care of so that you prevent such problems to occur again, we will then look at institutionalizing leadership below the founder, the promoter, and the direct reports so that we have successive levels of management capability to be able to make the right business decisions in terms of your growth. And that's something that we will do. And at the end of the day, we will certify you whether you will be in a position to solve your own problems on your own. Behind this whole thing is, as I mentioned, are a set of automated tools. There's this 360-degree content on cases, case studies, masterclasses in audiovisual formats, text formats, and of course, there is a body of curated experts that will help you. This entire journey, starting with the KPI analysis discovery report, can happen in 3 to 4 weeks. Basic solution tools can happen in about 2 weeks, and advanced solution tools can happen in about 6 to 8 weeks. Following which, there is a whole execution support that we will give as in terms of setting up the help desk. So that's what this entire journey looks like. I think what is very important is across the 3 critical building blocks, which is the finance of growth of people, we have 300 human years of subject matter expertise. We are focused on growth, and we strongly believe growth is survival. We focus on 28 critical performance indicators. Some of them are very applicable to some of your businesses, some of them are not. So we prioritize and focus on that. We will help you in making data-led informed decision making. We have industry benchmarks. We have growth discovery assessment with 10 rigorous logistical consistency tests. We have tested this with lots and lots of SMEs, and they have given us a very encouraging positive feedback. So it's working, it's live out there. It's updated regularly, it's dynamic, it's not static. And most importantly, it's easy to use. Right now, it's just Excel macro tools, but over a period of time, the main benefit of these solutions is basically when we think about having them implemented in parallel or individually, depending on the needs of the organization. And then it's most importantly, your direct reports can use it on a daily basis, and we can help you in terms of understanding what are those learnings that you have captured by using them, making your organization closer to perfection in terms of gaining your significant competitive advantage. So really, I think that's the key advantage. To summarize, basically, if you really look at it, it's personalized intervention. We are there. We will bring to you the ecosystem. It's learning by doing. It's just not theory. It's practical. It's on the ground. It's out there. It's live. We have technology advantage, so you can scale it up. We will not charge you anything, so it comes to you free. If there are other advisors that come to you, they will charge you, but we will have curated them and they will provide their lowest price point, which is an advantage to you. We will install management capabilities, which means that there is sustainability. We empower you. We will track results. We'll give you tools to track your results. It's a proven methodology which has worked. And of course, these tools are curated, so they are not theory only. When we began our program in 2019 in India, and we look at the last 2 years, and when we look at the other emerging economies where we are implementing this program, including LATAM, and now we have started in Egypt, by God's grace, we have been able to achieve a fair degree of success. Of course, there are learnings, and there are ways to improve, but we are very proud of having started this program simply because it is truly with a mission to help, philanthropic mission, not with a mission to commercialize. And that's something that SMEs need today. In last 2 years, we have been able to help 1,000 small businesses, having employment of 15,000 people. We have been able to solve 70 different types of problems. Have been able to set the SMEs on the growth path by a factor of 2 to 5. We have been able to score a significant net promoter score, which is a very important indicator of customer satisfaction. We have been fortunate to have very talented, committed team of 80 people across the economies. We have been able to get support of curated advisors, over 250 of them. And we have created over 1,000 content assets. We have solved these problems in enterprises over 25 different industries. We have created a huge knowledge base in terms of what are these tools are going to be. And we are very, very optimistic and bullish that over a period of time, we will be able to make a large systemic impact on the Indian SME ecosystem. These are some of the quotes that our clients, from our clients, and I wouldn't probably spend too much time right now in reading them. But if you spend 10 seconds on some of these things that clients have talked about, and probably I'll take a pause for 5 seconds, take a look at them, and then I'll take forward our thought process. So as you can see, a lot of them are saying a lot of things about us, and it is indicated by the fact that they have given us a very good client satisfaction score. It is kind of a testimonial for what we have been able to achieve in extending the real help, on the ground help to our beneficiaries. And we stay committed. I, as a leader of the program, and my brilliant team is out there to help you, to support you, to handhold you, and we are out there. Now, this is not possible without the great support of our founder and our president and CEO. These two individuals have been instrumental in spearheading this program, not only in India, but also in LATAM, and now we are starting in Egypt, and soon we will expand to other emerging economies. And both of them have a stellar credentials. Dr. Ramesh Wadhwani has been extremely kind, and he not only has large pockets, by the way, he has large heart. That's very important. Especially over 80% of his wealth towards the philanthropic mission. And that's not small by any standards, right? And I think this is very, very critical. When somebody earns wealth, he has been in the US for the last 40 years, have extremely successful track record of having managed 41, 42 companies in his portfolio. Most of them have been successful. But at the same time, he hasn't forgotten his roots in India. And he has really strived very hard, genuinely, to be able to help India, to be able to help the emerging economies, and to be able to create an atmosphere and systemic change which will make the job creation mission possible. Dr. Ajay Kela on the right-hand side has been extremely instrumental in leading the leaders on the ground in making operationally successful sort of transition from where we began and where we are today, and continuously focusing on improving what we do. I think this incessant focus on what we are going to do next in terms of improvement is really, really noteworthy. Dr. Ramesh Wadhwani's brilliant thought process in terms of institutionalizing this program, Dr. Ajay Kela's operational leadership together have given us a tremendous confidence that we are supported by the giant shoulders, and we want to execute as leaders of this program across the global economies, a very successful franchise of having helped the small businesses for a period of time. And of course, this is my brilliant team. My colleague Javier Campos, who is the MD of Latin America, and I, as a leader of the program, and also having the India leadership, basically are supported by this talented, committed individuals you can see on the right. Collectively, we have experience of over 250 years, highly qualified, diverse team, very on-the-ground, practical team. They're just not intellectuals. They're very, very big practitioners. And that's something our small businesses need. They need a combination of knowledge, humility, and practical implementation support. And that's what we are all about, and we want to give you that over extended periods of time. This is the Board of Advisors, India Advisory Board. As you can see, all of them come from stellar backgrounds. They have achieved significant success in their respective careers, and they help us regularly in terms of understanding the pain points of the SMEs, sharing their thoughts as to how this particular initiative can be made use of over extended periods of time, in years to come, in decades to come. And that's really helpful for us. That's very encouraging for us. And as I was mentioning, we have Curated Advisors. These are some of the advisors who have stood behind us, helped us. They're giving it back to the society. They're experts in different domains, and they are supporting us day in and day out to be able to make your ecosystem, SME ecosystem, vibrant and really commercially successful. And that's really collectively between our founders, our CEO, my brilliant team, and the India Advisory Board, and of course the Curated Advisors. Today, I think as a leader, I'm very, very lucky to be able to give this advantage to all of you. Finally, at this stage, I'm extremely excited and encouraged and enthused by the tremendous potential that this program has. And in the last 2 years, based on the feedback that we have received, this is just the beginning. So take advantage, apply now. Here's the link that you can see on the screen on this deck, which you need to click and start your application process right away. Remember, at the end of the day, we are there to empower you, to help you to grow your business. We are there to handhold you to ensure that you learn the science and art to grow your business. And we are there as a help desk on a regular basis till perpetuity, until we believe that you have really realized the true potential of yourselves as well as your businesses. Thank you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your having sort of listened to me for a while, and I hope that I have made some difference in terms of making you understand how you can take advantage of this brilliantly conceived Advantage program.